After witnessing his father's tragic demise, a socially inept engineering student sets out on a path of vengeance, culminating in the creation of a formidable robot. One chaotic evening, amidst the turmoil, a child glimpses people fleeing in panic as police converge on the scene. With precision, the officers advance into a building, their target looming ahead. An imposing robot, its chest adorned with a menacing countdown monitor linked to numerous gas tanks. Sensing the impending danger, the lead policeman urgently signals for evacuation. Just as the room reaches its explosive climax, the entire area erupts into chaos. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a bruised WIA finds himself handcuffed, facing interrogation from the enigmatic Varys. In a tense exchange, Varys probes WIA's involvement in a crime. Despite the gravity of the situation, Varys greets Yahya with a semblance of warmth, expressing relief at his survival, even as his men have apprehended him. As the interrogation unfolds, Varys ominously flips through a file containing incriminating information about Yahya's past deeds. As Yahya's life flashes before his eyes, he reflects on a pivotal moment from weeks prior. Amid an engineering lecture, his best friend Rika shares details of her car modification project in a hushed tone. Yahya, ever attentive, responds, unaware of the sharp ears of Professor Ferris. Caught off guard, Ferris demands Yahya solve a problem on the board. Despite his shyness, Yahya approaches and presents a novel solution, drawing upon a formula not covered in class. Instead of appreciation, his offer to share knowledge is met with disdain as the offended professor ejects him from the room. Disheartened, Yahya finds solace in the corridor, only to collide with a man holding tea, inciting the fury of Bolivia. In a moment of vulnerability, Rika intervenes, shielding Yahya from Bolivia's wrath. However, Yahya's crush, Mariam, witnesses his retreat, shattering his confidence. At home, Mr. Salah, Yahya's father, provides comfort and understanding, revealing his struggles in youth. In this moment of familial support, Yahya finds the strength to confront his challenges anew. Moments later, the father suggests a stroll to the hut, a place where Yahya's passions and creations flourish. As they step out, Nassar's arrival on a motorcycle interrupts their plans, demanding to know Sama's whereabouts. Aware of Nassar's illicit connections, Salah had sent Sama to her parents' house for safety. This revelation provokes Nassar's ire, his arrogance palpable as he insinuates Salah's wife's involvement in calling the police. However, Salah, unflinching, admits his hand in the matter, further fueling Nassar's animosity toward him. After Nassar's departure, father and son proceed to the hut, where Yahya's inventions await. Curious about his stillborn older brother's name, Yahya queries his father, who responds with Mousa. Inspired, Yahya unveils his miniature robot bearing the same name, explaining its remote control capabilities through VR technology. With a device linked to his spinal nerve via his temporal lobe, Yahya effortlessly commands the robot with his thoughts, demonstrating its prowess by effortlessly crushing a stone. Salah, filled with pride, commends his son's ingenuity. Their moment is interrupted by Mariam's concerned visit. With a subtle smile, Yahya acknowledges her, then exits awkwardly. Left alone with Salah, Mariam apologizes for the abruptness of her visit but is met with an unexpected request to stay a while. As they settle in, Salah probes Mariam about her feelings for Yahya, to which she evades a direct answer, asserting her lack of pity-driven friendship. As Mariam recounts her initial encounter with Yahya, borrowing his headphones for a piano lesson, she reflects on his solitary existence, realizing he lacked companionship. Meanwhile, during the interrogation, Ferris presses for details about Salah's demise, a matter Yahya vehemently denies. In a poignant moment, Yahya cleans the glass panes as Salah suggests Mariam's affection for him, though Yahya dismisses it, citing her frequent company with a handsome man. Seeking to uplift his son's spirits, Salah reminisces about his courtship with Yahya's mother, eliciting a rare smile from his son. As the sun sets, Salah tasks Yahya with making tea while he sets the mood with music. Their tranquility is shattered when Nassar and his cohorts arrive, launching a brutal assault on Salah. Cowering in fear, Yahya witnesses the thugs ransack the house, stealing valuables before setting it ablaze. Helpless, Yahya watches in horror as his father succumbs to the flames, the realization of his cowardice weighing heavily upon him. In the aftermath, Yahya sits in front of the charred remains of his home, devastated as medics carry his father's lifeless body away. Following a visit from Maryam, Yahya resolves to sell his house, finding solace only in the hut. That night, consumed by grief, he collapses onto the cold floor, mourning his loss. The next day, fueled by a thirst for justice, Yahya heads to the police station to report Nassar's crimes. However, his lack of evidence and shaky credibility as the sole witness cast doubt on his claims. During interrogation, Faris cruelly taunts Yahya, suggesting he should have perished alongside his father, branding him a coward. Tormented by guilt and haunted by memories, Yahya finds himself staring at the proceeds from selling his house. Overwhelmed by remorse, he locks himself in, contemplating self-destruction. In a moment of desperation, Yahya is visited by his father's spirit, urging him to avenge his death and change the world. Momentarily unnerved by his father's sudden appearance, Yahya's panic intensifies when the realization hits that he's locked himself in without the keys. Swiftly improvising, he deploys his robot, Mousa, to blast open the door, unlocking a newfound sense of power and purpose. Driven by inspiration, Yahya dedicates himself to crafting a life-size version of Mousa in his hut. Unbeknownst to Nassar, Yahya harbors plans for retribution. As he faces Nassar's mockery during a subsequent police visit, Yahya conceals his true intentions, plotting a reckoning that will shake Nassar to his core. In an abandoned building, Nassar catches sight of Yahya and commands his men to hunt him down. As Yahya takes refuge in a room, he activates Mousa through his VR headset, the robot emerging from beneath his parked car. Methodically, Mousa dispatches Nassar's henchmen, rendering them powerless against its might. Outside, the commotion alerts Nassar, who confronts the towering robot. Witnessing Nassar flee in terror through the VR set, Yahya's satisfaction is palpable. With precision, Yahya hurls a wooden beam, incapacitating the fleeing criminal. Mousa swiftly subdues Nassar, imprisoning him in a car before unleashing a fiery blaze, obliterating the vehicle in a spectacular explosion. As a bystander captures the dramatic scene on video, Yahya chooses mercy, allowing the witness to disseminate the footage online. The video swiftly goes viral, broadcasting Yahya's vengeance to the world. Content in his quest for justice, Yahya settles into bed with a sense of closure. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, a doctor delivers grim news to Yusuf Farah about his son's deteriorating health. Faced with exorbitant medical costs, Farah wrestles with difficult decisions, rejecting an experimental procedure. Amidst their conversation, Varys receives a fateful call, leading him away in frustration, leaving behind shattered glass and wounded pride. In a separate thread, Yahya receives a cryptic message from an online acquaintance, revealing knowledge of Mousa's creation, setting the stage for further intrigue and revelations. Amidst the unfolding events, Faris finds himself assigned to investigate the robot incident alongside Zakaria, a development that draws attention from various quarters. Meanwhile, the police meticulously gather evidence from the crime scene, probing the capabilities of the menacing robot. Simultaneously, a consortium of billionaires convenes, scheming to acquire the robot for their ends. Their clandestine plans involve infiltrating the police force with a spy, aiming to gain inside information on the investigation. In a separate sphere, Rika visits Yahya, their encounter tinged with intrigue as they watch Faris's appointment to the investigation team unfold on TV. Their conversation takes a serious turn when Rika unveils a sketchpad, revealing an illustration of Mousa. Though her knowledge hints at secrets, Rika reassures Yahya of her discretion, expressing a desire to witness Mousa firsthand. Venturing into Yahya's basement, Rika marvels at the sight of Mousa before unveiling her plans. Together, they discuss Yahya's quest for vengeance and the injustices plaguing the world, finding solace in shared ideals. As they explore Rika's domain, adorned with provocative artwork, they embrace the mantra, "The old world must end." In a revelation, Yahya discloses his connection to a mysterious figure from the dark web, who provides a list of individuals involved in illicit activities. Empowered by this knowledge, they embark on a mission to confront wrongdoing head-on. The following day, armed with resolve, Yahya and Rika drive to a warehouse, ready to unleash Mousa against the forces of corruption. In a sudden burst of action, Mousa crashes through a wall using a car as a shield, prompting a hail of bullets from the criminals. Undeterred, Yahya commands Mousa to engage, swiftly neutralizing the thugs, who soon realize their rifles are ineffective against the relentless robot. However, a higher caliber machine gun inflicts significant damage on Mousa, causing Yahya to feel pain even as he controls the robot. Amidst the chaos, an explosion from a gas drum sends Mousa flying, narrowly avoiding a rocket-propelled grenade. Despite the agony and damage, Yahya perseveres, urging Mousa back into action. With steely determination, he guides the robot to vanquish the remaining criminals and rescue the kidnapped children before fleeing the scene. Meanwhile, the police receive word of Mousa's latest feat and rush to investigate the warehouse, discovering the criminals subdued by the vigilante robot. Varys uncovers a crucial clue suggesting Mousa is remotely controlled, necessitating the controller's proximity to the crime scene. Later, Rika confronts Yahya, questioning his control over Mousa. In a demonstration, Yahya elucidates the connection between Rika's spinal reflexes and Mousa's controls, revealing the intricacies of their partnership. Days pass, and Yahya and Rika continue their vigilantism, earning the admiration of the city's populace. Their growing popularity inspires displays of support, with posters praising Mousa adorning the streets. Meanwhile, Varys devises a countermeasure for the vigilante robot, signaling a potential confrontation on the horizon. Amidst these developments, Maryam learns of Yahya and Rika's secret activities, expressing concern for their safety. Despite her warnings, Yahya and Rika press on, fueled by their commitment to justice. However, their clandestine operations draw unwanted attention, leading to a confrontation with the authorities. As tensions escalate, Varys strikes a deal with billionaire Samir to secure funds for his son's treatment in exchange for information about Mousa. Sensing an opportunity to secure his son's treatment, Samir strikes a deal with Varys, leading to a sinister plot to capture Mousa's controller. The professor orchestrates a train hijacking, intending to draw out the vigilante's operator by broadcasting the events online. Unaware of the impending danger, Yahya and Rika respond to the news of the hijacking, racing toward the scene. Simultaneously, another group kidnaps Maryam, recognizing her as Yahya's weakness. As the hijacking unfolds, Varys commands his men to detach a train car, trapping Mousa inside. Utilizing a jamming device, they disrupt Yahya's control over Mousa, allowing the criminals to attack the defenseless robot with a chainsaw. However, a vigilant passenger intervenes, seizing the jamming device and restoring Yahya's connection with Mousa. With renewed control, Yahya guides Mousa to defeat the assailants and protect the passengers. Sacrificing itself, Mousa serves as a makeshift bridge, ensuring the safety of all on board before succumbing to severe damage. Later that night, Yahya and Rika discover a DVD in the hut, revealing Maryam's abduction. Despite Rika's suspicions of a trap, Yahya resolves to rescue her. Confronting Samir, Yahya implicates Varys in the kidnapping, sparking tension between the two parties. With Maryam's safety in mind, Yahya devises a plan to destroy Mousa, intending to demonstrate his value as the only one privy to the robot's blueprint. He broadcasts a video to the world, bidding farewell to his creation before surrendering himself at Farah's hideout. Minutes later, Mousa detonates as the police storm the building, leaving Varys to grapple with the consequences. Faced with Yahya's ultimatum, Varys is compelled to draft a blueprint for Maryam's release, recognizing the severity of the situation. After ensuring Maryam's safety, Yahya begins to write the blueprint on the wall, covertly preparing for an audacious rescue. Meanwhile, Rika springs into action, orchestrating a diversion using a smoke-emitting vehicle to incapacitate Varys's guards. As chaos ensues, Yahya's mysterious friend from the dark web leads a group of operatives to infiltrate Farah's hideout, planting explosives to aid Yahya's escape. Unaware of the impending danger, Varys remains focused on the task at hand, only realizing the gravity of the situation when it's too late. Trapped within the collapsing building, Yahya reaches out to Rika, expressing his love for Maryam before the structure crumbles around him. Meanwhile, Varys finds himself cornered at a police checkpoint, resigned to his fate as he finally agrees to the experimental procedure for his son. Amidst the chaos, Yahya's friend locates him alive amidst the rubble, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the devastation. As they escape the wreckage, a mysterious figure salvages Mousa's intact mainframe from the debris, hinting at unforeseen consequences yet to unfold.